What's up, guys, and welcome back to another weekly market analysis video on my YouTube channel. Now, I know I've been away for a while now, right? But yeah, I'm back, and I really want to say thank you guys for 4,000 subscribers. I really appreciate the support that you guys gave me from the beginning of this whole channel up to now, and I believe that you're going to continue doing that to ages, right? So yeah, without wasting much time, today I'll be sharing with you what I'm looking at on Euro USD and on gold, right? So yeah, just my view on what I think is going to happen. So you might want to stick around to the end of the video because there are a lot of insane opportunities that are going to be lining up for the upcoming trading week, and you don't want to miss out on that. So real quick, let us step onto the chart and let's see what we have for the upcoming trading week. So without wasting much time, I'm going to start with Euro USD on the weekly time frame. Okay, so let's step onto like 1 week and let's look at what price is doing. Okay, so here on Euro USD on the weekly time frame, I had this break of structure right in here. So the weekly we turned bullish right after this break over here, right? And currently you can see that price is reacting from a particular zone. I call this zone a reactive supply zone, right? However, there's something special about this reactive supply zone, right? And it actually, if you can see this, it actually led to the break of this structural low over here, which means it can act as some kind of like decisional point of interest for the monthly time frame on Euro USD, right? But currently I'm just going to be looking at it as a reactive supply zone, right? So having seen this, I'll now step onto the daily to now look at my daily structure. So on the daily time frame, I can see this recent break of structure right in here, right? Which means that now I'm going to be focusing on this low to this high as my daily swing legs, right? Which also means that we can mark this point of interest right in here as a level of demand on the daily time frame. Mind you, this point of interest can be refined, right? So now that I know my daily leg, I can step onto H4 and begin to define my H4 legs. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to reduce everything to some sizable amount of what price action data that I can work with. Okay, so currently I can see that I have this high which created this low on H4 and this high which also created this low on H4. Yes, I can see that there is this sort of structure building in here, but believe me, these structures are not H4 structures. They are just internal structures within this overall H4 structure, right? So now that I know that this is my H4 low, I can mark this point of interest of H4, which should be right in here. Now what it means is this: if we're going to come to this point, we need to break this one. If we don't break this one, there is no way we are coming in here, right? So now I'll be focusing on this H4 leg instead of this whole daily leg. Okay, so now that I also have my H4 leg, I can also begin to start looking inside this H4 leg to redefine all those structures within the H4 swing leg. So I'm going to have this high to this low and this one to this high over here as my H1 swing legs, which means again I can mark this point of interest right in here, right? This also tells me that even before price will come into this level of H4 demand, we need to break this one. If we don't break this one, we are not coming here. As simple as that. Okay, so now I can be focusing on this low all the way to this high, right, to see what price is doing. So now I can confidently step into my intraday time frames to now see what price is doing in there on Euro USD. So right here on my intraday time frames, right, I had this beautiful change of intent right in here. Change of intent is when my intraday structural leg right switches from bullish to bearish or vice versa. Okay, so after that I also had this sort of like a kind of relatively equal highs, but I saw it as an inducement right in here, very tiny inducement right in there, right? Some people may also consider it as a relatively equal high. That is also fine, it's okay, which means that I have this high to this low after this break of structure as my intraday swing leg. Right now it means I can go ahead and mark this point of interest right in here on the intraday time frame. So this is going to be my supply. Okay, now right in here I'm looking at two things. Okay, I can see that momentum is bullish, right? I'm talking about the internal structures within this leg. We are bullish right in here, making higher highs and higher lows. And personally, I have some buys in here looking for it to swing all the way to the top. Okay, so currently what I'm seeing is we can have about three scenarios in here. The first scenario is we can actually have price continuing all the way to take out this liquidity and then further what make moves all the way to the top. That's the first scenario that I'm looking at. Second scenario is we can actually have price breaking this, right, coming back down into probably these levels before we're going to push up. Or third, I'll be looking at price to actually take out this high right in here, still inside this intraday supply, and then we're gonna have price doing this, right, and then tanking all the way to the downside. Now, before we even tank to the downside, I can see these levels in here, which means we can also have price doing something like this and then continuing to the top, or these wicks in here are going to act as what liquidity to now let price take out all of these lows and even further to grab these lows and then tank into this level of demand that we are looking at here on H1. Okay, so all I want to say is that on higher time frames from daily all the way to H1 we are bullish, right? But the intraday is still bearish. Okay, so I'll just wait and see how price will build up when the market opens. So now we can look at the yellow metal, which is gold. Okay, gold right in here. So on gold, right, I currently have this last low which created this high over here, right? But then if you can see this clearly, we have like something like 1 2 3 4 1 and 5, which means I can begin to focus on just this low to this high to now see what price will do, because we are bullish inside this leg over here. Okay, so real quick I'm gonna step onto 4-hour time frame and begin to see what price is doing. Now you can see this black line over here. It actually came from like a daily point of interest. If I go back to the daily, you're gonna see this cleanly. So this is like the origin of the whole move. This white candle over here, this bullish candle, right, that's the origin of the whole move to the top. That is why I put a line over there, right? So now I can step onto the H4 time frame. Now right here on H4 I had price making like higher highs and higher lows, which is like forming one swing leg to the top. Okay, and currently we can see that price, you know, came into this daily demand that I marked from the daily. You remember that? So price is in that, and there was a decisional point of interest and an origin point of interest in here, but price didn't tap into that. Just tap into this daily, and something happened. We had a very beautiful switch. If I go to like, let's say H1, you're going to see this beautiful wick switch over here and price tapping into this level of demand. Now this means that, you know, just as this line in here is marked, I marked that from the daily as a level of daily point of interest, and price has tapped into that. We've had that change of intent right in here. This also means that price can just, you know, continue with the move all the way to the top, where we can come and clear these highs in here, right? So personally, I also have some buys in here, and when the market opens, let me show you something real quick on intraday. In as much as we've taken out this high and I'm looking for price to come to the top in here, I can also see some kind of internal price action, like price making lower highs and lower lows in here, which means this should be like some sort of like last point for price to react like this and drop, right? However, if you look at this point, you realize that it is forming equal highs with this, which is what liquidity. So personally, I'm looking for price to, you know, take out this high, right? And then we're going to continue, because we even have some Asian highs here not taking, and we also have the structural high over here after this break of structure. This is like a tag liquidity, right? So we are expecting price to, you know, sweep these highs and even make more movement to the top into this highs over here. That is around 2050. Okay, so yeah, that is what I'll be looking at on gold. So which means that when the market opens, I'm just going to see how Asia is going to build up, right? If we have that beautiful build up, we can have price coming back into the zone like this nicely, and then we can now see price making moves to the top, right? So yeah, when the market opens, we're gonna have more, you know, price action build up to be able to help us determine where we can get very good trades to take, right? But presently I'm having a very good buy right from somewhere in here all the way to the top. I'm looking for it to swing this particular trade on gold, right? The same as EU and the same as GU. Okay, this is my EU trade real quick. That's my EU trade, right? I have some partials left in there running. On GU, the same thing. I have partials left in there running. And then on gold, the same thing. I have that also running. Okay, so you can see I'm looking for it to swing all of these trades, right? So yeah, that's my view, and that is what I'm looking at on this two wonderful pairs for the upcoming trading week. I wish you all the best and have a profitable and painful week.